This video is made for adult collectors because cubes. Well, that straight up didn't work. So we all like Transformers, right? I mean, we do, that's why we're all here. But there are loads of other transforming toys out there that are super cool. We all know about third party, and this is a definition I googled. A third party is typically a company that provides an auxiliary product not supplied by the primary manufacturer to the end user. And there are two types: licensed and unlicensed. Unlicensed is what we are most used to, and it's kind of askew the definition of third party, but companies like YOLO Park and 3.0 are licensed third party companies. I'm gonna get these comments of like, no, they aren't. Yes, they are. If you look at the blanket definition of third party, they are. But 5.2 Toys isn't just a third party company, at least not to Transformers. They make their own transforming toys called Beast Box and other various things like Mega Box and stuff like that. And they are licensed third parties for like Disney merch and things like Aliens and Predator. They reached out and sent over some stuff, and they sent me these 3 figures. They're all really cool. But yes, they did send them, and you know what that means. This video is sponsored by 5.2 Toys. Yes, that is how you pronounce their name. I asked them. They have a bunch of cool stuff like Ninja Turtles that turn into cubes and combine to make turtle vans. Oh my god, I really want that. They have like a boatload of stuff that's pretty affordable, so go check them out. The link will be in the description down below. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. Now back onto the actual toys. While they did provide these to me for free, all views and opinions are my own. Now, the ones they sent me were White Noise the Owl, Kirin the Thing, and Icarus Elite, who looks like a protoform Starscream. I would love for these guys to make an Allspark in collab with Hasbro. So the whole thing with these is they start off life as cubes, little boxes that then transform into a variety of different things. It's really cool how they're able to get the same shape to turn into so many different creatures and machines. I was not expecting the owl to be the best of the 3, but oh boy is it good. The Owl Cube is the most cube of all the cubes. It does the cube thing the best. There's no gaps or anything. It's like the most solid of the bunch, and that's really all I can say about the box. It does peekaboo though. That's pretty cool. So the Owl's transformation is actually quite clever. The way that it like folds up and everything and unfolds is just super satisfying. So there's a lot of nice flips and turns, and my nose is running because my fucking allergies are so bad today. Oh my god. So to start with, you open up the little peekaboo flap, right? And then you just bend this section down, unfold the wings out from the side like so, rotate this 180 degrees and just leave it down like that. Then you unpeg the feet and that'll pop this panel up. You rotate this down, rotate this section, bring it down, just like that. Very squeaky. Bring down the hips. I'm not a fan of that. Then you just, you know, swing this around, peg it in, split this, peg this in, hear a loud cracking sound because you bent a piece the wrong way, spin this, peg this in, unfold the wings like so, flare out the head, and that's it. But it's really satisfying to put in owl mode and then put back into cube mode. It's very cool. Oh, and if you want, that we'll talk about that later. This looks so good from coming out of a box. It reminds me of that Owl movie. Anyone remember that shit? Because I don't. The deco is very lush. The white and the tan really work with the bits of gold. I'm not a big fan of the claws being clear, but I still like the rest of the color. So the owl has some nice articulation going on for it, surprisingly. But, oh my god. Ah! Because it turns into a box, and you would expect it not to have great posability, but it's actually quite cool. The head can shift left and right, it can look up and down, it can spin. It sounds like, oh, this thing's head. Remember this? Yeah, that's what the owl sounds like. Does have a battle mask. That is very cool how there is a battle mask. I think that's awesome. I love when battle masks are on toys. You do have the wings can flap here, they can swing up and down here, they can swing up and down here. They can swing up and down here, and they can flap in and out here. So you got a lot of posing in the wings, which allows you to get like a little bit of a curve, especially considering this is shaped like a curve already. So that's really cool. Now the hips, they can go forward and back. They sound like ass. They can go in and out, oh, or they can just pop right off. That's new. There's no thigh rotation, but the ball joint is cut in such a way that allows for a thigh rotation. You have a knee bend, an ankle tilt forward and back, an ankle pivot, and then the toes can bend up and down, and this one can shift for some reason. But this hip, oh, this one right here. So the owl's great. Now let's get on to this thing. This I'm going to start in animal mode because becoming a cube is kind of hard. I'm going to walk you through that because it would probably be beneficial. This looks really cool. I love the flame effects. The colors are just so nice. Love the shade of blue and the type of gold they used. It's like Lego's gold. The ball joints on this guy, like all over it, were really loose out of the box, but I floor polished them up and now they seem to be fine. The clear plastic doesn't feel as strong as Hasbro's new stuff, but it feels fine. It's also a bit fiddly. All the moving parts on here don't have natural stopping points, so moving it can be a bit meh at times. And even holding it, I recommend doing so by like the midsection because there's no moving parts there. Now, getting it into a brick is a chore. Now, transforming this. Not a fan at all. Not a fan. Like all this ornamental stuff and like the gold and the flames and the gold bits on the tail get in the way. It's really annoying. So you collapse the legs up, right? And then you just sort of like get these around that way, split the ass, bring this out, unfold this, and just like, fold these in first. Things will start to get in the way of other things, and it's going to get very frustrating, and you might see me cut a little bit between things because I'm trying to like figure stuff out, but I will try my best to show the transformation off so that you guys can walk yourself through without having to read those garbage instructions. Take the head, unclip it, fold this up, open this, somehow, there we go. Open this section, like that, and just sort of like flatten this whole piece so that this is straight, fold peg in. Now when you want to fold the peg back out, I recommend shoving something in there to push it because there's no place to actually grab it to fold it out. Now you want to rotate the torso a 180 degrees, and then these will split apart. You can see it's a mess now. Then you just want to like collapse this down like so. There we go. Just bring this up and out of the way for now. This, as you'll see, has a peg here and a port there. It will peg in like that. Peg it in like that. Squeeze it all together like so. Oh, because I've done something wrong. This doesn't peg that way. It goes... All right. So you're here. See, it's confusing. You're here. This goes up and gets out of the way. This goes this way till it's folded like that. And then these tabs will go into that slot. There we go, and then you fold those in. There we go, now we did it. Now you peg these into place. Ta-da. Now it's starting to come together, sort of, and look sort of kind of maybe like a box. Rotate the hips on this section all the way around. Pretty sure I've done something incorrect here, but that's fine. We'll figure it out. I did it. Okay, so you want it in that orientation, and the foot's gonna slide underneath this clear piece, and then you want this hinge to be flat along this side with these wing pieces sitting in like that. And now it's looking like a cube. So next thing you want to do is you want to peg these sections into the little holes right there. So you peg those in like that. Take this whole section, fold it down. There we go. They're now both in place. Peg that back in. And then just sort of bring these down like that. Sort of squish it. Now we have a square. Brick isn't nearly as solid looking, but I love the way the colors are distributed. It still looks like a box. I mean, there isn't much else to say other than if you give it a squeeze, it'll come apart. And now on to the main event, the Icarus. This feels a lot like an actual transformer, and it's one I think many Transformers fans will be genuinely interested in. You get 2 jets that look like Energon aerial bots but bigger. They both look cool, having landing gear and fit into like an old generation style, which I like, but they don't feel super solid. There's a couple parts where I'm gonna have to shave some tabs down in order to get them to actually peg in, but it's by no means horrible. This is the Elite version too, so it's got that nice blue and white color scheme. It feels very like Arctic tundra. It comes with an adapter and pegs, so you can like peg it together to combine the jet. And also all the wings are on like 5mm pegs, so you can interchange them and even plug transformer things into them. It's very cool. So get out of here. So this time what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to cube mode and then robot mode, because they're just cubes and there's not much else to talk about. So we'll start with the easiest one. Long boy, that's what I'm calling it. So you fold the nose cone down, you split everything right here. Just fold this in, bring this down, and fold these in like so, and just peg everything. Peg out of focus. Peg everything to get, come on. There we go. Just peg everything in like that. Bring this down, fold these in like so. Then open these up, split this. Helicopter, I'm sorry. Rotate this down and bring it just like in like that on an angle. There we go. Then you just bring this up, peg it in. Oh, make sure the landing gear is folded in first. You just peg it in like that. Bring this up and peg it together. And now you have an cube. Let's get this dumbass together. So you fold up all of his landing gear, bring this in, fold these down, unpeg this and unfold all of that, and now we're starting to get into a mess. Bend this down, split this, bring it up, fold these in, fold these down, and now this is the part where it becomes a little annoying. Rotate that on that really icky joint and peg it into the side like that. Bring this out, bring this up, fold it in, bring this down, peg it in, fold that up, and then this peg, which has a massive stress mark on it, by the way, see that? Love that. Goes into that slot. So you just line it up, fold that down, and there you have one side of the cube pretty much done. Bring that down and cube. Let's go to robot mode. So we'll start with the upper body. Get this all unpegged again. Just sort of like out of the way. Bring this back, fold the head up, rotate it, peg these back in. Come on, peg in, you dingus. There we go. Fold this out. Ooh, that's squeaky. Rotate that, unfold the fingers, and bring this up, and that's an arm. There we go, upper body. Let's do the lower body. Unfold literally everything. Just bring all this, bring all this down. Bring this out. Now this part here. Ugh. Love that sound. Fold out the high heels. There you have a leg all done. Now we have both legs. You peg it into the 5mm port on top, and there you have, whoop, he fell over. So this feels a lot like a Protoform Starscream, and that's why I like it so much. It just feels very Bayformers, and it looks super cool. His feet aren't the greatest, but he does stand fairly well. It's the knees that are slightly loose, and I need to tighten them up. He is tall too, like very tall. There aren't any new details shown off in this mode, as it's all just the jet parts, but those colors help it feel very uniform and makes the two jets mesh together super well. So Icarus's articulation is actually quite cool. The head is on a ball joint, so it can pretty much look wherever which way you want, and on the hinge. You got shoulders that can rotate, very squeaky, in and out. You do have a bicep swivel, also very squeaky. You got an elbow bend, you have a wrist hinge and a wrist in and out. The fingers are individually articulated, that should be folded up.
So you can move them around. The hips can go forward, they can go back, they can go in and out, thigh rotation, knee bend, knee rotation, and ankles can go forward and back. There's no tilt though, which is a little annoying because that means trying to get him into he just does that sometimes.
They come with little storage containers, and you can put them in there, in the little clear ones, and stack them. And now I have a stack, and I want more now. Damn, I really want those turtles. But these are super neat and not that expensive, and there are so many to choose from. They make so many different things, and they have a lot of licensed ones too. It's nuts. Definitely recommend getting at least one to try out because of how fun this concept is. Reminds me of like Bakugan or a collector toy from the mid 2000s, which is really neat. Thanks again to 52 Toys for sending this to me, by the way. Again, link will be in the description down below if you want anything from their website. But that has been my look at a bunch of 52 Toys stuff. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.